So everyone has their computer ready, right? Okay, just waiting for everyone to get ready. Okay, so today we're
Yes,
going.
please. They all have computers.
Yeah, okay. Uh,
They all have computers.
Today we're going to be learning about computer programming. So make sure to have your laptops ready. So what is computer programming? Computer programming is a process for telling a computer what to do. So we are telling the computer to do something, and the computer follows our instructions. But the computer only understands one language, and that language is called code, which we will get to it today. So codes are simple instructions which computers read and follow. So example of a code is print hello world, and you can see on the picture, right, that it prints the words hello world. So the people who works with these programs and codes are called programmers. So these people create instructions for computers to work and for any other softwares. So they are programmers. So we'll briefly talk about where is programming used. So the codes programmers make are used in all our functioning devices. So programming allows devices to, such as cell phones, TVs, and laptops to work. So the projector that you guys are seeing right now are all programmed by code. And it is also used to build applications within the devices, such as games, social medias, and browsing apps. So we will quickly watch this short video, which explains more about code. So let's get into it.
Hi, welcome to programming. If you've never learned to program before, you might be wondering what programming actually is. Well, when we write a program, we're giving the computer a series of commands that kind of look like a weird form of English. You can think of a computer as a very obedient dog, listening to your every command and doing whatever you tell it to do. So what's so cool about programming? Well, it really depends on what you think is cool. Because as it turns out, you can use programming for almost everything. Programs control robots that can take my favorite, robots that can roam around Mars, water on the screen. Programs tell self-driving cars which way to turn, programs help doctors cure diseases by processing huge amounts of medical data. Programs create really fun games like Doodle Jump, Angry Birds, Minecraft. Programs make it possible for Pixar to put out their awesome 3D animated movies, and for movies like Harry Potter to have such cool special effects. What's your favorite movie? I bet that a computer helped make it somehow. Programs are behind the websites and the apps that you use every day, all the time, like Google Maps and Wikipedia and YouTube. And of course, where you are now, Khan Academy. Here, on Khan Academy, you'll learn how to write JavaScript programs to make drawings, animations, and games. And that will be a great start towards creating whatever you're imagining in your head. I know it might be hard to see how a drawing program relates to programs for robots or curing diseases, but believe it or not, the same basic concepts are used by pretty much every programmer in every program. Once you learn to program JavaScript, you'll be able to learn other programming languages much more easily. Now you just gotta keep going.
Okay, that was just a quick video on introduction to programming. Now, computers are both very smart and stupid. What I mean by that is that computers can only process simple tasks, such as print code, like I mentioned before, but they can process billions of those codes in a second. So just remember that codes are very simple, but the computer processes it so that it can process billions in a second, and that will make the computer function and how it works. Now, more about coding. So again, codes are simple instructions which computers read and follow. And the most basic instructions to the computers are only made out of zeros and ones. So they are called binary codes. So you can see on the bottom picture that this is only made out of zeros and ones. So you can think of this as the most basic code that you can do. So these are called binary codes. These are just simple and not written in English. So these are programming languages. So programming languages are English versions of the binary codes, since it's hard to understand what zeros and ones mean. So these binary codes help us, these programming languages help us convert that zeros and ones to our English. So there are different applications you can use. There is Python, TypeScript, JavaScript, C++, and way more that you can use. Okay. The codes in programming languages look something like this. So you can tell that this is way easier to understand than zeros and ones, since you can write in English. So how to actually create a code? So open up any programming languages, for example, JavaScript. And for today, we're going to use Notepad, but just open up and second, start by inserting any command, such as variable prints, math, pull, debug, value of. And then after you enter any commands, edit however you like. But this is a complicated topic, so today we're just going to use Notepad. But before we start coding, I would like to just conclude by watching this video.
Writing code is writing a precise set of instructions a computer or device can understand. It's explaining exactly what you want your computer to do at any given moment. Computers need to know exactly how to react to things like the clicking of a mouse or the pushing of a button. And whatever happens ultimately is happening because of lines of code written by a human programmer. Just about anything with a plug or battery uses code. It's keeping our airplanes in the air. It's allowing you to swipe a credit card. And the computer doesn't know what to do in any given situation. It has to be taught everything. So you can think of a computer programmer explaining to a computer what we want it to do as like trying to give someone directions for how to drive somewhere when they don't even know what a car is. So you can see what kind of complications you'd run into. You'd have to not only tell them how to get to where they're going, but you'd also have to give them contingency plans for things like what if there's a traffic jam, or what if a truck breaks down in the turn lane, and you'd even need to explain precisely how the steering wheel or gas pedal works. So that's kind of like a computer programmer writing code for a computer. They have to basically teach it everything every time. To understand that communication and how this process even started, you have to go back to the Industrial Revolution, where the first computer program was invented in 1801 by a guy named Joseph Jacquard. He developed a system of weaving instructions, or code, for his sewing looms that could be stored on cards with holes. And there was a mechanism that would go along the card and try to push a pin through. And so either the pin would go through or it wouldn't. It's binary. It's either it does or it doesn't. It's a 1 or it's a 0. And so if the pin goes through the hole, it would allow a rod attached to it to lift, which lifts the string and lifts the associated thread. And if the pin does not go through a hole, the pin doesn't move and the thread doesn't move. So essentially, the card would hold a preset pattern that is read by the loom and serves as a guide, giving the direction to the threads one at a time. And with this contraption, you could create very fancy pieces of weaving. And this idea of there being recorded information read by a machine was quickly borrowed to be applied to mathematical computation. Charles Babbage invented the analytical engine in 1837, and it was basically a calculating machine. Eventually, transistors are invented, which replace punch cards as a way of transferring data, and nowadays we use computers that have billions and billions of transistors, but still carrying that same basic idea of on and off to carry data. As a way of harnessing these various combinations of transistors, we use code. Computer programmers use different languages, whether it's Python for gaming, Java for desktop applications, or Objective-C for an iPhone app. A computer program is only a text file following those rules, and it's eventually translated into something the computer can understand. Just like the pins on Jacquard's loom, a computer can only understand two things. Think of 1 and 0 as the alphabet of a computer. It's like, if you look at the alphabet of the English language, there's only 26 letters, and by themselves, they're meaningless. But when you combine them into different ways, you get the Great Gatsby or Romeo and Juliet. In the same way, billions of different combinations of 1s and 0s have the potential to give us Microsoft Word or iTunes. And the process goes like this. On the top level, you have a human writing code for a specific computer language, and after this, the code is translated or compiled into a low-level language by a tool called a compiler, and finally the code is translated into binary or machine language by an assembler. So because we have a way of translating human orders in the form of code into 1s and 0s that a computer can understand, after that it's really just a matter of what you want the computer to do. And it's like being a chef writing a recipe, because both chefs writing recipes and computer programmers writing code both have the ability to create something awesome using the resources and tools available.
Yeah, so the video basically talked about the basics of coding and how the coding that we write are translated from our English language into binary codes like I talked about, made out of 0s and 1s. So now we will actually try to make our codes ourselves. So can you guys all on your laptops open it up and then search up Notepad? So can everyone do that? So on your laptops, on the search bar, type in Notepad and open.
Type moves back. Yeah, type moves back for the screen. N moves back. When you press on it, when it counts, just click on it. Moves back.
Just type in Notepad and then click the icon.
Type moves back. Have you done it?
So this blank screen should pop up in Notepad.
This page should come up. And maybe we can continue.
Okay. So believe it or not, you can actually code in Notepad. So what I want you guys to do in Notepad is first type in @echo off. Can everyone see this? It's on the very top here, but I'll try to make this bigger. Yeah, so can everyone type in @echo off like I typed here? So can
David, please, we can't hear you.
yes. Can everyone type in @echo off? So
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's saying that all of you should type echo up.
Yeah. So everyone type that in your notepad.
So let's
So
David,
what?
there is a letter before the echo of.
Yes,
Okay,
echo.
the at sign. All right, so at echo of. When you type the at sign, refresh on it.
So remember, at is shift and 2. So click shift.
Then type space. I'm going to the screen here. Press the this. Type echo. This echo.
Okay.
And then we can continue.
Okay.
We
So
can continue.
yes, okay. So next, click enter. Once you typed in add echo off, and then on the next line, I would like to maybe set a color. So I'll say color 0E. So it can be any color. So I'll actually type in color 0A. Can everyone type that? So that will make the color green, I believe. So this is not the result yet. So if you guys can see the result, you'll see that the color is green. So you can set it to any color. So right now I set it to green. So can everyone type color 0A? And just remember that this is a notepad coding, so different programming languages have different ways to code, but in a notepad, you have to code like this. So just remember that any other codes will not be the same. So type in color 0A. And then what I want you guys to do next is type in echo hello world. So on the next line, type in echo hello world. Can everyone type that?
David, they should type one because we are seeing 3 screens here. Which of them should they type? Is it the first one or the second one or the third one?
Oh, can you see my screen? This whole thing? Can you see the 3 lines? Just type.
Yeah, we can see different codes. 3
Yes, so I would like
can
you
see
guys,
3 codes.
yes, type it all on the same notepad. So
Okay,
type all 3 of them.
okay.
So just to go to the next line, just type in enter and it goes to the next line. So the first line says add echo off. The second line says color 0A. And the third line is echo hello world. So these are each lines of code.
Type it. Huh? You can't see.
Are they finished or should I wait a bit more?
You can't. You're saying that you can't. So I want because time to right.
So once you have typed that, I'll just like you guys to test it out. So in order to test the code, well, you would first have to type all this. And then after you type it, I'd like you guys to click File and then Save As. And if you guys are just finished, you can just click Save As. But here's the important part. So I want you guys to name the file test.bat. So after you guys type that, can everyone click on Save As and then save to download test.bat. So .bat is very important. And then click Save. So you saved it as test.bat, all this code. So after you saved it, you can open it up to test your code. So did you guys save your code yet? Or I'll just wait for you guys to maybe finish. Okay, once you guys saved it as a .bat file, I'll want you guys to open up File Explorer. So like I talked about last time, there is a file icon at the bottom of your windows. So click on File Explorer, or you can also search up File Explorer in the search pad as well. So I want you guys to open this up. And then go to where you saved. And then there should be a test file. Test.bat file. So if you guys saved it correctly to a BAT file, then you can open it up in commands. So double click on your test file, on your test BAT file.
David, please, how should they save it? .bat. You mean
Yes.
they should save it with .bat?
Yes,
Is
so
it BAT or
yes,
BAT?
BAT, yeah.
Okay. To save it, can you save it? Hello. Go to file, go to save as. Save as
Before you save, I will just want you guys to type in one more thing. So at the end, so can you guys all type in pause with a semicolon? I forgot to mention before, but you would need a pause in order for a code to work in Notepad. So there are actually 4 lines of code, which I want you guys to do. So again, type all of these in. Echo off, color 0A, echo hello world, and pause with a semicolon. And then click on files, save as, test.bat. So again, you would need the pause too before you save. And if you guys typed in the code correctly, you guys should see this screen. If you open up test here. So again, this is the code and this is the results. Okay.
Some of them have save it so you can continue.
Okay. So after you saved all these 4 lines of code, so at a .bat file, again, open up File Explorer. So once you have opened up File Explorer, then you can double click on test that you downloaded. And this should pop up, this command prompt. So it should say hello world and press any key to continue. So this is the code that you guys made. So it's all yours. So
Okay. So when you launch it, it's much more. Just type it. Okay, so you said that, right? David,
yes.
hello.
Hello?
When they run the code, the command prompt will just pop up, but it's not coming, it's not displaying the whole screen.
So are you saying that the command prompts
Like,
just
let me demonstrate it.
opens and disappears?
Exactly. Opens and disappears. So, you see.
Oh, yes, I saw that. So
Uh-huh.
make sure that you have pause if you guys don't on your
Okay.
so I think I told you guys a bit later, but you need the pause at the end.
Okay, so they have to pause it.
Yes, so at the end, type in pause on your notepad, and you have to save it and run again. To save it, click on File and just click Save All. So type in pause with a semicolon.
And the pause is there. Maybe they have paused it.
Yes, okay. If you type in pause and a semicolon, then just click File and Save. And after you save it, you can run again. and then it should stay on your screen.
Maybe it's still doing that. The code has been forced, but still.
Did you save the pause with a semicolon and in the notepad?
Yes, it has been saved with a semicolon.
Yes.
It is saved with a semicolon.
It should work.
But please, is it case sensitive with caps and then small letters? Is
Yes,
it case sensitive?
it is capital sensitive. So you would have to type in echo off with all lowercase. And
All
then,
lowercase. Okay.
yes. You have to type the code in all lowercase. And then the symbols are very important too.
So you guys can see what I type. There are small letters and then there are capital letters. You don't have to type in all caps or all small letters. Those with capital letters, write capital letters. Those with small letters, write small letters. You get it? I've been telling you these things, but you don't want to listen. Now you are bringing your English language here. So, how many times
And did it work or after you save everything?
yeah, but it didn't work. The same problem.
Oh.
Same problem.
That is very strange since on my end it worked. Or maybe you can just make sure that you have the same thing and maybe click save as again. Save as like test.bat again. And then when it says, do you want to replace it? Just click yes.
Guys, you bring the semicolon and then other things over there. Huh? Guys, let's see.
Is it
Okay,
the
okay.
same problem? Or
Yeah, it's the same problem. So I'm trying to get it. Try to solve it out.
can you show me your code on the screen so I can see?
All right. Uh, oh, okay, unless I change it, unless I change. Yes. This one. Stay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think it's a lot. This one. Even beside it, all of them.
Did it work or are you still testing it?
I want to show you the proof. Maybe I can't edit my code. How will I edit this? How will I edit?
You want to edit it?
Yes.
Just you have to go to show properties. Show properties.
When edit it.
Okay.
JB, can you see?
No,
Hello.
I cannot see the screen.
I've displayed it on the screen.
You have to do that. Okay, go to the screen. Let's go.
But I cannot see the screen if you're sharing.
I can't see my desktop. I can't see my desktop.
No, can you maybe try sharing again?
Can you see my desktop now?
No, still not working.
Okay, I'll copy the code and paste it on reactions so that you can see.
Yes, okay. So I'll actually paste my code in the chat so you can copy and paste.
Okay, this is my code as well. Can you see it in the chat?
Yes, I can see.
Yes, so that is the code we have.
So can you just use my code with the 4 lines? Just give me the sense.
So I should copy yours and then run it right.
And then save it and then run again, and then it should work.
Okay.
I'll try to share my screen again just for the code.
Yeah, Kevin is stable.
So is it
Hello,
hello?
can you see? Can you see my screen?
No, I cannot see your screen, but does it work?
Yeah, it works. It works.
Oh, okay, nice.
It works. So I've sent hello world, press any key to continue.
Yes, that is correct. So
All right. All right.
maybe can everyone
All right.
that work?
So please, do you mean they should do it again with the same thing?
Yes, if
All
everyone
right. So
yeah.
this is what you want. Yes, so everyone can do this.
And then files
Everyone can do this.
and .bat file. So test.bat, and you can open it up. And yeah, it should look like this.
That is same thing about it. That is same thing about it. And I will space the chapter will export it.
Yes. Did everyone get it to work?
Yes, Kevin is working now. It's working.
Yeah,
It's working now. Yeah. So we can continue.
So I would want you guys to maybe type in the set name. So here, if you type in here, I want you guys to start from @echo_off and then type in echo what is your name, set/p name equals. So echo what is your name and enter.
All right. Now he said we should do this. You can create the same notepad to do it. Branch notepad and so just take this one. Take this one. You have to like start with it. Have you seen this piece? Let's go. Together. What is up? I get to this. Have you finished typing? You guys have you finished typing? You want to save it? To save it in the highlight typing in the the root was 8. Everything you have to get. And fourth, I will reply. Let's end up. Anything but it. Is my brother man. Is it capital letters? So this.
And then after you guys finish, just remember to save your files. Remember to save everything that you did. In case if you're wondering where the percent is, the percent sign is Shift and 5. Just copy what I typed here. And then again, remember to save it. If you open it up, if you guys were successfully able to type it, something like this should pop up. And then you can enter your name. Your mine is Jabin. And then if you click enter, it should say hello, Jabin, or hello, whatever your name is. So here's a way that you can interact with the code yourself. And then the code presents the result according to what your answer is.
Yes, that's why it's also having the same. Yes, so I think that. The code.
you guys type everything and save?
Okay, David, they are all done with the typing.
Okay, so I want you guys to
Yeah.
save. Yeah, and then open up test again. And save and open up test.
Keep quiet and listen.
Yeah, so after you open it up, the screen showing
Yeah, they all have this screen. Yeah,
yeah, and then type in your names.
they are all having this screen.
Type in your
Okay,
name.
so they said you should type in your names. As you can see, it's doing the same thing on the screen, so you can watch. Are you watching? So do the same thing. You can just type your name and then it will display hello. The name that hello and type say hello.
Press any key.
Press any key on the computer.
Type your name. And then if you click enter, it should say hello and then your name.
Save it. Save it and you are happy. Save it. Yeah. All right.
So did you guys get to the results?
So it says hello, Thomas. Have you said it? When you type your name, you press enter, then you mention your name. Get it. All right.
Yes, so if you guys were able to do it, you can compare the code and then the result. So if you can see on my screen, the code is on the left and the result is on the right. So just remember that in a code, the computer processes our English language to their zeros and ones. And now this is the result of what the programming we did.
Okay. That's very good.
So basically, everything is made out of these codes, but we just tested out some simple codes that you guys can just test out. And then any websites or applications or devices are all made out of these codes, but there are like a lot of them, maybe thousands and 100,000s and even millions of codes that run. So just remember that this is just a simple example that you guys can do. And this is also a great example of showing how a computer would process your letters and then make it into their own language. So yeah, that was the results. And you guys can see how these codes will be used, like I talked about before, and how it was in the video. It can be used in our computers that we're using right now, or the Zoom application we're using right now, or televisions and beam projectors, and everything is made out of codes like we just did. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me now, or and thank you guys for just hanging through with me. And this was pretty long, but I hope you guys learned something at least.
Question. Maybe. Any question for David about what we learned?
Yeah.
Hello, JB. This is what type of what type of computer language? Yeah.
Programming language.
This what type of programming language? You are?
Is this?
Is this?
The one you are using?
Pressure point.
I can't.
Okay, David.
Yeah.
I think he want to ask you a question, but I don't know whether he's feeling shy or he was asking that what type of programming language is this?
Oh,
The one that you are using.
so one that I'm using, it is not one of the famous programming languages that I mentioned. It's not JavaScript, it's not Python, it's not C++. It's just a code that Notepad has and what Microsoft has to offer. So this is not one of the programming languages. So each programming language has their own way of code. So this is not what you would type for Java, or this is not what you would type for Python and other applications. So this is only for this Notepad Windows. Yeah, I hope that answered your question.
All right. Okay, have you heard your Okay, please come and then ask your question here. It's listening.
Sir, please, what is computer program?
Can you repeat the question?
Repeat the question.
Sir, what is computer program?
Did you say what is computer programming?
Yes, he was asking about what is computer programming.
So yeah,
That's the question he was asking.
I think I said it in my first slide that computer programming is basically the process of telling your computer what to do. So basically, by computer programming, you're telling the computer what to do when you click, what to do when you type something. So programming is all about that, all about telling the computer what to do or telling any device. So, and you do that by code, which we just learned. So that is all programming, if you guys wanted to.
Thank you very much.
Any other question? Okay. So JB, I don't think there is any other question
Okay,
for you.
so I guess we're ready for next week. So on next week, it is the last class for this semester, this session. So next week, we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence. So again, that is the last class for the first session. And after that, I'll see you guys
Please
next.
come to the gate.
Yeah.
Okay, please. The topic again. The topic again.
The artificial intelligence or AI.
All right. All right. I think we've heard you. Okay, we've heard you. We've heard you.
Also, is there anything you guys want to learn in the next session, maybe next year? Maybe what the other children wants to learn or interested in?
Okay. Asking that from next time, what do you want to learn that you prepare for that? And
So I can
next step,
prepare
what do you want to
you guys. Yes.
Okay, I think we'll think about that and then get back to you by next week. We'll prepare that and then get
Yeah.
back to you by next week.
Okay, then I'll see you guys next week.